Hi and welcome to Top Table Duels. Thank you for joining me in this video today. So what I'm bringing you is a ranked best of 3. Lman up here in the blue at 813, who's going to be playing a Runick Spright deck. And down here in the red we have Fornos at 1140, who's going to be playing a Kashtira deck. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Runick's going to be going first. He's going to normal summon out the Aperia. Give himself that free draw. Draws into a D-Fissure. Little does he know that's not going to help him too much here. Activates the golden droplet. Says to special summon, gets his Huggins. Huggins effect's going to activate, ditching the Runick Smithing Storm, adding himself the Fountain. Got to get your Fountain online. This deck lives and dies by a Fountain. Then he's going to Exy over into Gigantic Spright. Activate effect. What are we going to bring out here? Probably not playing the Toad engine. Nope, that goes right first to blue. Adding Jet to hand. Jet summons himself. He's going to get him a Spright double cross. Alright, it's an interesting start or main in this one. He's going to activate Runick Dispelling to special summon himself on another Hugging so he can go into his Runick Fountain to draw 3 more. You know, that actually, Spright double cross, I mean, that might actually be a good play to quickly shut off things like Kashtira's. We'll see how that goes, especially in the new meta. So Lman is now going to link off into an Elf and then special summon out his Jet. Make himself a number 65 Gin Buster, set this double cross, activate the Dimension Fissure, and I just want to stop and look at this, kind of what he set himself up here. Obviously, the Kitten, being just an easy normal summon on there, won't help him too much. He has 2 Runicks in hand, as well as his Fountain, and then a Lava Golem, and a Negate. I mean, that is a fairly good board and going positive for this deck. I don't know how much better his turn could have been. So now, Fornos is going to start it off. He's going to special summon out the Kashtira Unicorn. And that's going to be met by a Runick Flashing Fire, targeting the Unicorn to destroy it. Banishing 2 off the top, which is going to be a Ash Blossom and a Rivalry. Now, Elf's going to activate its effect to special summon out the Aperia. Aperia's effect is going to activate. He's going to give himself a draw to get into Pixies, a 1-of most likely, and probably not what he's wanting to see. He definitely wants to see more of his Runick cards. So now Fornos is going to activate Prod of Prosperity, taking 6 off the top, and then going 6 down. So he's going to get the Ascended Thunder, Kashtira Birth, his own D-Fissure, another Unicorn, another Birth, and a Macrocosmo. So, seeing, I mean, the Macrocosmo, yeah, so he's going to go for the Unicorn, although Macrocosmo, I feel like if your opponent didn't have an easy way to get rid of it, just get rid of all those spells. Don't even allow them to go into the graveyard. Alright, now he's going to special summon out the Kashtira Unicorn, which is going to be met by a Spright double cross. So I just want to look on that. So Fornos is actually, that's a brilliant play that he just did there. He just tricked Lman fairly good. He made it seem like he needs Kashtira Unicorn to resolve because he desperately needs the Birth. But little does he know he already has the Birth, and Lman is desperately trying to keep him away from it. So now he's going to special summon out the Fenrir. Hold on, what does it say? Okay. So he's going to special out the Fenrir, activate effect, which is going to be met with Runick Freezing Curses. And that's going to banish off another Fenrir. And now Runick Fountain's going to activate, getting himself 2 draws. He's going to draw into another D-Fissure as well as a Runick Slumber. And now he's going to act the Kashtira Birth. So Lman, I think at that point, is realizing he might have gotten played. Unicorn's effect is going to activate. That's going to be met with the number 65. And then Kashtira Unicorn's effect is going to activate, as well as the other Kashtira Unicorn's effect is going to activate. They're going to take turns looking at each other's decks. He's going to banish out the Shangri-Era. And then he's going to look at his opponents and say, get rid of Avermax. And now he's going to Exy into his number 89, Diabolus the Mind Hacker. Activate Mind Hacker's effect, which allows him to look into his opponent's deck one more time, say Giga. So he's going to get rid of the Gigantic Spright. He's going to go into battle phase. Start a battle phase. And he's going to target the number 89, Mind Hacker. Say, I'm going to make sure that if it were to be destroyed, it won't. Okay. So he's going to go ahead and pass turn. It's interesting. He used the effect to banish face down, but then didn't use the effect to banish more face down. So in standby phase, he's going to activate Rivalry of the Warlords. So he's going to have to only keep his Thunder. So he's going to turn him from using his own Unicorn against him. Lman's going to activate Runick Slumber. Turn one monster in the field. Next one destroyed. It's not. And then he's going to activate his Runick Fountain. So he can draw some more. He needs an out to Rivalry. He gets the tip, which is an out to Rivalry. Runick Tip's effect's going to activate. Give himself the Runick Destruction. Yep. Activate Elf effect. Targeting his Sprite Jet. Activate Sprite Jet's effect. Getting himself another starter, most likely. Yep. Because he already has the... Yeah, he already has the Smashers in hand. Activate Smashers. Let me say, he hit it out all along. Alright, so he's going to take out that Rivalry. Activate the starter. Starter's effect is okayed by Fornos. And he's going to special summon out his blue. Blue's effect. What do we get here? Red? Possibly? Yeah. Probably get a red or carrot. I mean, that's really all you'd need. Yeah, okay. So he goes for carrot. He's going to special summon it because he wants to turn whatever that is off. Little does he know, that's a judgment. Alright, is he waiting? So far, Sprite can get over 89. He normal summons the Wind-Up Kitten. He has the out. Activates effect to return 89. He put all these guys, yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. So he's put everything else in defense position. So he's going to activate Gigantic Sprite's effect to get himself an Imperia. Get himself another draw. Gets a Runick Freezing Curses. I mean, at this point, yeah. Alright, so he goes into his IP Mask Arena. Attempt to go into battle phase. Pass the battle phase because he can't attack. And he's going to pass turn. So he set himself up. The Kashtira Birth can be negated and destroyed by Carrot, but that can't be stopped by Solemn Judgment. So what does he do here? I think he just scoops it up. The Kashtiras, I know everyone's like really worried about Kashtira going to the next Phantom Photon Hypernova, sorry, but that deck builds a board, and if you have any way to negate or out that, like a Forbidden Drop it, like a Dark Ruler no more, and clear that board, they really cannot play with just one card. So he's going to activate Runick Destruction to try to target the Kashtira Birth on Kashtira Birth activation. And I think he thought he was going to be... Well, I mean, Carrot would have been the better one. But because he activated... Yeah, I mean... I understand what he was trying to do there, but I feel like Carrot might have been the better play. Hindsight is 2020, though. So... Fornos is going to activate Kashtira Fenrir's effect. That's going to be met with a Freezing Curses. And then he's going to activate his Runick Fountain so he can get his draw 3. But Kashtira Birth says hey man, you've target blue in both wings. So he's basically like, hey, you've activated a spell effect, so now I'm going to birth you. Okay, so there he tried to activate Kashtira Birth and then Sprite Carrot popped the IP Mask Arena to destroy it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see where the activation is. I see there. He activated Carrot and then sent it. Okay, so Fornos goes into battle phase and attacks with the Sprite Elf. He's going to activate Runick Slumber. And then he's going to likely target his own elf to make sure. And then Fornos says rewind. You can't use Carrot. You can trip more than oh, okay. So he's saying the chain link is his because he chained the effect to it. He's saying you can't do that. Because Sprite carrier is a win effect. Okay. So he's just going to... They're going to reset this a little bit, and then he's going to banish out the 3 that were targeted. So now he's going to activate IP Masquerade's effect instead. He's going to link off the blue as well as the IP. Get himself a Nightmare Cerberus. Nightmare Cerberus' effect is going to target the Fenrir. He had the ability to drop it there, but he knows his opponent can't attack, so he's safe. So Lman is going to go into main phase 1, activate Runick Smithing Storm to banish. He's going to activate his Runick Fountain here to draw himself into his starters. Pass turn, so attempt to go to battle phase, so now he can attack the next turn if he doesn't activate anything else. So now Fornos has his Kashtira Birth play. He chooses not to do it here, not to grab the unicorn or anything else. Oh, yeah, it would be met with carrot no matter what. Alright, so Lman's going to say end of main phase, attempt to go to battle phase, and now he's going to swing in with his Sprite Elf. Spring in with his Nightmare Cerberus. Okay, so he's going to activate Rivalry of the Warlords. Probably going to be met by sending the Nightmare Cerberus. Oh no, he's going to send the Elf. Okay. Interesting. So he's going to negate that. And then, okay, yeah, so he's pushing for damage here, and then he's going to activate the starter. And that will close out game 1. So surprisingly, the Kashtira deck held on a lot, mostly because the Sprite deck just couldn't attack. The Runick Spright deck couldn't attack. Okay, so Lman is going to be going second, and it looks he has the Raigeki. We didn't see it game 1. He potentially sided that in, and he has ability to get into engine for his Runick cards, but not his Sprite cards. Fornos. I mean, for a Kashtira deck, this is exactly what you. I'm guessing exactly what you want for how they play right now. Special summons Unicorn, activate Unicorn effect. Lman has no way to stop this. Gets his Birth to hand, activates Birth, and then normal summons his Ogre. Ogre's effect to go get him the trap. Full preparations. And he's going to activate D-Shifter, so everything will get banished, and activate the Pot of Prosperity. Alright, so he's going to reveal the 6. He's going to get the Rivalry, a Droplet, another Pot, a Birth, Unicorn, and a Psy Beast. Okay. So he's going to add the Rivalry because he knows that it just kind of shuts off, because if they go into like Huggin for their play, then they're stuck at Huggin. They can't get into the Thunders. I think that's a good way. And then he's going to special summon into the Mind Hacker. Mind Hacker's effect. What's he going to rip out here? Hey, he's going to say, I'm going to get rid of one of your gigantic sprites and then banish one from the top. What did we get there? We hit a Flashing Fire. Then he's going to activate the Kashtira Birth. Special summon back out the Unicorn in defense position. Set his preparations. Set his Rivalry. Oh, no, he does not set the Rivalry. Okay. So, I'm guessing he didn't want to get blown out. So his opponent is going to activate Raigeki at the start of main phase 1. He's going to banish everything, and then he's going to activate Sprite Starter. So he's going to activate Kashtira Preparations, which is going to make his Kashtira Birth live in the future if he gets it off. But that's going to be met with a Runick Destruction, so he's going to destroy the preparations. Gets himself the blue. So he's going to... Lman's probably going to be able to fully set up here, but he's not going to be able to attack. So Fornos knows that he's going to go into his next turn. And, I mean, potentially, he can't do much, obviously. When I say he's going to full setup, he's going to get as much as he can. But since all of his spells are being banished right now, getting the field spell online and waiting in your opponent's next turn is going to be your best bet. So he's going to Exy into the Sprite, special summon the Aperia to draw. He needs to get as much as possible. And so he's going to set 4 because he can't get into the field spell. He doesn't want to go negative too much. And then pass turn. So Kashtira Fenrir is going to be special summoned out. That's going to be met with a Sprite double cross to take it. And it's going to go underneath Gigantic Spright. Then he's going to special summon out the Unicorn. The Unicorn is going to be met with Flashing Fire. And then he's going to activate the Kashtira Birth to special summon, and that's going to be met with a Runick Destruction. And I think that's all she wrote. I mean, he does have the Rivalry to slow the game down. Lman cannot attack this turn, but that's a mighty large deficit to come back from. So he's going to activate the Runick Smithing Storm to special summon the Hugin to get into his engine, and that's going to be met with a Rivalry. So then Sprite Jet is going to special summon itself, probably get into a Smasher so he can turn that offline. Yep. Activate Smashers, banish both those out. He still has his Gigantic Sprites effect, which is going to get him into his Cap Shell. Going to link those two off to go into an Elf. Cap Shell is going to give him a draw. Draws into the blue, activates Elf. Elf special summons out the Aperia, gets himself another draw. So he gets his red. Special summons blue. Blue gets carrot. Special summons both carrot and red. Links 2 more off, probably going into an IP here. And then Fornos scoops it up. So, I mean, yeah, he couldn't attack, but Fornos knows that literally no matter what he tries to play on that next turn, it's going to be met with a negation. And then his opponent can pop off a full combo again and probably attack for game. So, I think both of them did well. I just think Kashtira right now are not good enough. And I even think next format in Photon Hypernova, unless they're going to be built specifically into Tier Element or that engine itself is a gimmick kind of, and it can do really well in a very short burst. But as you see here, once they lose most steam and they don't have 2 cards to really, 2 cards to rub together and start to kind of make magic happen, it really can't do very much. So let me know what you guys think about this duel in the comments below. Also, what other duels you'd like to see. As always, like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. It goes a long way towards helping me out. And I will catch y'all next time.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.